in the UK. Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger is on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. And what a moment, what an exchange that was. What did you think when you saw that, Congressman?
Here's my best surprise face. That Vladimir Putin would deny poisoning and killing his political opponents. Look, of course he did it. Of course he ordered it. He's a former KGB agent. That's how he thinks. And he doesn't hesitate to bomb hospitals in Syria every day. Hospitals with innocent people in it. This is why you can't trust Vladimir Putin, and you can't trust anything he says. He's out for number one for Russia. He wants to rebuild the Soviet Union, and we all know, just putting it through the common sense meter, that he both meddled in our election and he kills his political opponents. That's who he is.
It sounds like you're suggesting that it's becoming, in a way, predictable. His denials, whether it is about these attacks or Russian meddling or whatever it is that he is and was challenged on, particularly in that interview.
Well, look at Ukraine as an example. When you had troops marching into Crimea, and by the way, there's still a war going on in eastern Ukraine, he claims that these are separatists that rose up from the ground miraculously with no insignia on their uniform, and we know they're Russian military. He won't admit that he shot down an airliner and killed hundreds of people. This is a guy you can't trust. Now, it's fine, and I think the president's fine to meet with Vladimir Putin and to see if there's areas of common interest. But to trust Vladimir Putin is something very different. There are people in Russia and behind this soft iron curtain of Russia that are desperate for us to still be the beacon of freedom that we were so well during the Cold War.
So what did you think of that moment then in the presser when the president was challenged on, do you believe U.S. intelligence or do you believe Russia when it comes to the answer on Russian meddling in the U.S. elections? And many are arguing this morning that the president did not have the back of our U.S. intel, which has largely concluded that Russia did meddle in our elections and does.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I wish he wouldn't have said it. I wish he would have backed U.S. intelligence agencies. I like President Trump a lot. I like a lot of his policies. I think his foreign policy is very robust. And I even talked to him on Friday from Air Force Two, and before he went and met with the Queen. I like it, but this is a massive blind spot. By admitting that the Russians meddled in our election is not saying that somehow they made him president. He was elected president because he had a good message and people voted for him and he won and he's going to win re-election. But to say that somehow the Russians weren't involved when we all know differently, I think just admitting that the Russians were involved is what we need to begin to inoculate ourselves against Russian involvement in 18 and 20 by being aware of the tactics they're using. And if you get on Facebook and there's a stupid fake story on there, you know it's a stupid fake story and you don't believe it, and it could be Russian propaganda.
Did anything change yesterday?
Did anything change after what?
Yeah, 2 hours behind closed doors with Vladimir Putin and President Trump, and then this presser. Did anything change yesterday?
Yeah, I think, who knows what was said in the meeting. I think we'll get more information on that. But I do think it was a big step back for our foreign policy, both against Russia and around the world. You can't go in guns blazing against our allies in Europe and then come out and say you believe Vladimir Putin on something that's truly unbelievable. So I hope the president and I think the White House today will make some massive clarifications. It was disappointing, but like I said, they've been very aggressive against the Russians in this administration other than that.
They've been pretty quiet so far. The president in a tweet just thanking Rand Paul for coming out and defending him in that.
When he's your only defender, you got a real PR issue.
All right, Adam Kinzinger, Congressman, thank you.
You bet. See ya.
So will this firestorm that's come to dominate